Computers. Computers. Computers.
The transmission. Mission. The transmission.
Computers. 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 Computers.
Transmission. Mission. The transmission.
Computers. 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 Computers.
Transmission. Mission. Transmission.
Computers. 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 Computers.
Hey, we're live with Lady J1A. We have some conversations that I think you will find entertaining,
Informative,
informative,
educational, mind-opening, and a little philosophical. Let's get into the discussion, shall we? The domestic use of private defense contractors in the homeland of the United States. For me, I don't know about you guys. Tell us in the comments. This raises some concerns about intricate, legal and philosophical points.
right?
What do you guys think? Is this legal? Is this what you want? Is this something that should be okay? Like if I own property somewhere and let's say I lease the property out, what if the property is like several square blocks of town? And I don't own the buildings and I don't own the businesses, but I own the land. And let's say, what if I want to hire private defense contractors to patrol my land
Over those
in the city on city streets as if they were like police officers? Can I do that? Is that legal?
And these are armed guards too, of course.
Yep.
I always thought that it was not legal for armed security systems like this to function in America.
Is a private defense contractor functioning in the United States on domestic soil, is that just a security guard? Like, do they get their wings, do they get their limbs clipped, do they get their magazines taken away, or what? Because I see them with the clips, I see them with the guns, I see them with the batons.
Yeah.
It looks like they've got all the lethal authorization that they might have operating over in Iraq or something.
Right.
Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, and these people, though, they are security guards only in the sense they have not taken an oath for their current position, I believe. What do you guys think? Do you think the security guards or these defense contractors, do they take an oath to the Constitution of the United States or for the Constitution of the United States?
No, they don't.
Absolutely.
They don't.
Absolutely.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hey, No Name, what up, bro?
Problem.
I think it's legal, he says. That's fucking crazy. Oh my God, bro. Like, so what's the difference? So what's the difference between that and a police then? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's secret police in my book.
No, yeah, and what's
driving around in a suburban, a black suburban, and like,
it's worse than that. It's mason. Well, how do you say that word? Where you're hiring a group of people to come out and
mercenaries.
Mercenaries, yes, thank you.
Private mercenary kill forces. You can hire them to work Well, then that raises a question for me. I've been wondering this. Then
Well,
how
I'm
about
gonna
this?
get my cousin
What's
Vinny to help me out.
hold on? What's stopping China from having land or a business or both here in the United States and then employing an army of private defense contractors to act as security guards or whatever, lawful
for their
participants for his interest here in the United States, because this is a capitalist society.
land. Right.
Can't he just hire like 50,000 Chinese people? And then at the same time, I'm wondering, can't they just draw those employees with visas over from China? So essentially, what's stopping a foreign power from just like bringing these people over here lawfully
You've raised a very interesting question.
and claim that they're just
and,
employees of your
concerning.
business? And then fucking one day they pick up arms and they're in every city.
You raise a very big question and concern that, you know, maybe we shouldn't be just selling our properties to just anybody and everybody.
Or even domestically. So, like, this
Yeah.
raises concerns for me. What if things got a little bit out of control? Shit hits the fan kind of scenario, right? And the police forces are less capable or whatever, or maybe whatever, non-existent. Who knows what kind of anarchy, what level of anarchy we may hit if this shit hits the fan type scenario or something like that, or in a civil war or something like that. In that type of scenario, should we be worried about like these security agencies that have all these guards, like giving out mandates for them to take cities and shit like that? Like, oh,
Maybe.
we're D4S security. We're the largest security contractor in the world, and we've got guards in every city.
Well, maybe you've really sparked some really good questions, questions that we really
Batman.
should be getting some answers for. Wow,
Thanks
I'm
for-
kind of really concerned about this.
Yeah, no, it's concerning. It is.
It is.
So, like, we have these people operating here domestically. You see them all the time, maybe not every
Right.
day. You go to the bank, though, you see a guard. You go to the grocery store,
Well,
if you're in the inner city, you
they're
see a
not-
guard.
They're not
And-
there for your interest, like the police could
Exactly.
be. Like the police could be. They're in it for commerce and for the business, for that interest.
Yeah, these suckers could
And
just
they're
be like,
not. They did not take an oath, so they're not going to be concerned about you
see, the other thing is,
or
too,
your rights.
you're allowed to just assemble and gather, right?
And all
So,
these security
a
guards want
foreign-
to put you on down the road.
Some interest, a private interest, not our nation, can assemble armed people and the government can't do anything about it. That's a freedom of assembly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're armed. That's the freedom for you to do that too, right?
Yeah.
So what could the government even do about it? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like when you've got these kinds of freedoms, how come the foreign nations that want to take us down just don't exploit those freedoms and fucking,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying? Like the security forces, they could just get on their radio, like G4S, they could just get on their radio and be like, we need every guard to come to City Center Park.
I think we really should, as a people, we really should be looking at all these loopholes
Scenarios, huh?
and that we have because of us being
Yep.
such an open capitalist
Imagine a
system.
scenario where they have all these people assembled, armed in the city center. There's nothing law enforcement or the government can fucking do about it because it's legal under the Second Amendment. We all have these freedoms, and they're just using the freedoms to assemble and to carry weapons. And you see what I'm saying? And then they've organized and they're armed. Plus, that's another thing. You could just fly your guys over here, right? With enough money, we'll sell you guns. You don't need to bring the guns with you, even and shit, man. You can come here and then buy them legally.
Yeah.
You could bring 50,000 people over here as employees of your security company.
Well, hold on. Isn't that what's been happening in a roundabout way, kind of, sort of?
Anybody in here that could put some numbers up on the screen? Lenny, Maui, what up, bro? Thanks for chiming in. Seems like this is the right conversation for you, my friend.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What's the largest like T4S? How many guards do they have? How many guards do they have in the United States? Can you look that up? What are so that's like a check. What are the balances for fucking, so if that ever happened, the National Guard would come in, right?
Well, probably.
That's the balance for that?
That would be the balance.
So what if what if the National Guard finds that's a scary situation.
On
Think
the
about it
other
though.
hand,
May I offer this for a second?
yes.
What if the National Guard, they get deployed to emergencies and catastrophes and shit like that, right? What if they find themselves in a manner to where they're too overwhelmed with stuff? They don't have enough troops.
That's always a possibility. But also what I was going to be bringing up is the fact that our military has been recently given the okay to on American soil to govern the people, so to speak, if you understand what I'm saying about that.
They can unalive your ass
And alive
in an operation to assist law enforcement in a manner that is likely to lead to lethal force.
This is alarming.
I have the document right here on my phone. It's a Department of Defense memo.
This is alarming, and I encourage you to do your own research. Look into these things yourself. Ask your own questions and try to find the answers the best you can. Yeah. Educating together, that's what we're all about here.
5240 period 01, 5240.01, DODD 5240.01, the newest revised update. I have it here on my phone. You guys should check it out. It's been revised. The only revision is that revision.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the
Yes.
only thing that they seemed to need to change was the lethal force directive.
Yes, and that's been updated very recently, I might add.
Jeez, I wonder why.
So what's going on, guys? You're free to leave your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions in the chat.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Let's talk about it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Who's with it? Let's read the chat. DOJ. Oh my God, Lenny, thank you for looking that up. Oh my God, that's a large number. The G4S has 443,500 guards in the United States. That's a huge force, man. Wow. DOJ under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been given permission to shoot civilians. This is correct. So, not DOJ, DOD, the Army, the military.
The military, the big guns.
Yeah, this is a DOD memo that I'm reading here.
People's military at war
with their
the people. Yeah, with the people.
Yeah, this is the Department of Defense Intelligence and Intelligence-Related Activities and Defense Intelligence Component Assistance to Law Enforcement Agencies and Other Civil Authorities memo.
What's going on, guys?
In the memo where it establishes earlier, what's that called? In earlier revisions of the document, they were not allowed to use lethal force. They were allowed to give assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities, but they were limited to not use lethal force.
I've never heard.
Now they are authorized to use force that is likely to escalate to lethal force.
Be careful out there, guys.
In the event or in the action of assistance to law enforcement agents or other civil authorities. Check that out.
Wow. Yeah, and do your own research, guys.
I'm glad you brought that up because it really seems related. What made you think of that? I wasn't even thinking of that, man. Because so related.
This is so this little security guard that's really not a security guard, and I actually was schooled on that. Lady J1A is schooled. Yeah, yes, I am. But a cute little eye candy from a live I had a couple weeks ago. She was a security guard and she schooled me on the fact that she isn't a security guard like you would think. She is a
Private defense contractor.
yes.
Hey, the sheriff's right over here.
Oh,
There's the Denver sheriff.
a Denver sheriff.
Yeah. And he looks like he's parked illegally.
Oh, well, you guys, we're live.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
We sure
Let's go check it out. Let's come up just for a second.
yeah.
We'll go check that out, man. I just spotted that.
Come along with our next wild
Yeah,
adventure.
and we have some more discussions about this too. There's a lot of legal considerations and philosophical considerations that I want to talk about. I have a lot of them outlined here in my notes, and it'll only take a minute to go check if this guy's parked lawfully and give him the education to provide him to be friendly enough to give him that education for free.
For free, yeah. That
Free and respectfully.
free public education.
Check him out, guys.
And I don't see my thing,
Your
so
grip?
yeah, it's all
Your
good.
grip?
Yeah, my grip. It's all
Why
good.
don't you take a look for it, man? And then dude probably getting a lunch and parked illegally, and he ain't about to get the education.
Yeah, well we're I'll just hold it. You guys come along with me.
Check him out.
I absolutely love it when Mr. Amazing finds
Watch it. Yeah, I always spot something. Is he parked illegally?
I don't know, I don't even see him.
Right over there.
Oh, I see him now. Boy, you got good eyes.
You got phone? You got the camera on? Not yet, we don't. Now we do. All right. Here you go.
Hey guys. Mr. Amazing's along static. We are on new. Well, I'll keep that quiet for right now.
But it's all good. We're gonna nail him. I'm glad we pulled over for this one.
Yeah. Whoops.
I don't see him anywhere.
Perhaps he stopped in for a lunch.
So why did I think he was parked illegally? It looks a little too close to the drive-through,
Yeah.
guys. And wouldn't you get a ticket if you tried that?
Oh, absolutely. I think.
What would happen to you if you parked right on the curb, right on the corner?
This is a Denver sheriff. Denver sheriff. It's Denver County.
We have further ST 930.
ST 930. He's just barely above this.
Super dirty, filthy vehicle.
A very filthy vehicle. His CAD is open.
I can't
and
see in
on.
the back. The CAD's on.
His CAD's on and open.
I bet he's just maybe serving like eviction papers or something, maybe.
Maybe.
There are some apartments out here. Or
Mostly
I don't
business
really know
though.
what he might be doing here other than that.
Yeah. Well, guys, we can hang out for a bit if you like. I mean, it's not too bad weather. Lightly breezy.
Is there
Today?
anything we need to ask him?
Well,
Let's ask the commenters.
What-
What do you guys think?
what would you guys think? Is there something you'd like us to ask this copper other than to get his card and a possible chance to get him into thepolicerecord.com? Oh, we got another one across the street.
Or just start.
Yes, it did.
That cruiser just started.
No, I thought it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Yes, this one's now started. Sounds like it.
And we got ST 614.
ST 614. No. T614. People.
Windsor Property
Unit.
Management, Denver County Court
Prop-
versus Shailene Evanson and Francisco Chavez. This looks like this might be some information that he would probably
Eviction?
tell us that we couldn't have if we had asked him for it.
Well, why do you leave it open and unaccounted for? I mean, he's just got it sitting there. So, you know, you guys understand. Hold on. You guys understand that whatever you can see in public, you can check it out, record it, you can whatever. And it's up to him to keep the records safe. It is not up to the public to keep the records safe. You know?
Oh, there's another one. Let's read that one. Yeah, I'll read this one to you.
Okay.
Here we have a summons, description of person served, and Denver County Court, Lark and Company LLC versus Veronica M. Hoka. The attorney is Setter Fulcher, PC.
Oh,
Setter Fulcher, PC. The attorney representing that plaintiff. So,
well, I've got a question now. Why is he leaving, he or she, whoever, why is this deputy leaving records open? You know? Yeah, I don't know.
that's fucked up, man. Don't forget about 23andMe too, man. They got everybody's DNA and the whole board split.
Yes, it's so
Like 78,000
Yeah.
DNA profiles or something like that.
yeah, you know, they're not protecting the records very well. I'm just saying. And you know, whatever you can see in public,
I don't want to be
you know,
nice, Cruiser. I don't have anything to say to him when he comes out. Do we want to talk to him or what?
I'm not looking to talk to him. I wouldn't mind having a conversation, you know, one of those cordial conversations.
true.
you know,
We'll keep an eye out for him. Build bridges in the community. Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting his card, either one of these or both of these officers' cards. Actually, they're not officers, they're deputy. They're sheriff deputies, is what it appears. You can't trespass the eyes. That is so true, Lenny. That is so true. You cannot trespass the eyes. If you want privacy in public, you must create it. You are responsible for your own privacy, especially in public, you know? And I'm not saying that it can't happen, because it can. You just have to create it. You know, put up some kind of curtains or something, you know? That'll give you your privacy. Mr. Amazing's walking around trying to find where these deputies could be. They may be having lunch somewhere, you know? That's always another real possibility. I thought I'd just kind of hang out by the cruiser. Um, Very odd. Yeah, they could very well be at one of these eateries down here, having lunch, picking up lunch. They could be serving conviction notices somewhere in one of these mini apartments along this area.
Anyways,
It
I
could
can't
be
find
a,
him.
could be
I
a
was
million
wrong about
things.
them being parked illegally.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give him such a harsh time.
We'll
It's
wait right here and we'll keep talking about what we were talking about.
yeah,
And we'll wait for
absolutely.
these guys to get
We'll
here. And then we'll talk.
continue our discussion, our conversations. And maybe we'll.
Great sweater, man. I like that brand. Oh, thank you, sir. That on there?
Yes, I seen that.
Cool.
That was awesome that you highlighted that for him. Well, you know, they could be in the yoga place. I mean, you know, they might be kind of trying to relax and catch up on some stretching and some exercise, you know. I don't know. It's closed.
I don't know, man. It's kind of strange if they're not in one of these places on the ground floor.
That's why I kind of wonder if they're not really actually serving a conviction, you know, an eviction, excuse me, an
Okay.
eviction.
And that would make sense why maybe you need two of them.
Yeah.
You know what the alternate idea is here too?
Mm.
Are they maybe having an affair?
Oh,
And it's just a male and a female or whatever. It's two people's vehicles because it's the hokey pokey going on here.
Well, there are hotels close. I'm just saying.
I mean, it doesn't make sense if they both have different subpoena paperwork in their car
Right.
and they're at the same location.
Yeah, that's a little silly. Why would they have different for the same locations?
I'm not sure. Like you said, though, an eviction would make good sense to have a backup, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that it's probably they are serving evictions, but I like your juicy story. I like your juicy story, Mr. Amazing.
Oh, I got a vivid imagination, don't I?
You sure do. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts, your comments.
Kind of like how I
Your
imagine that sound
concerns.
is really silent. It don't sound anything like it.
Funny. Well, yes, let's go back to our
The Constitution grants Congress the power to raise and support armies and to maintain a navy. The delegation of defense functions to private entities raises questions about the extent to which such responsibilities could be outsourced without infringing upon our constitutional mandates. Doesn't it, guys? What do you guys think about that? Like, if you expand your private force to almost 500,000 armed guards, that's a
Wow.
large force. That could take on probably the military that you have
right.
in a state. If you were to coalesce them in a state, that would be quite a large force.
That is a large force. That's quite a number.
And then, you know, which is weird because didn't they say, like, am I right that didn't they tell the what am I trying to say here? The militias that they couldn't operate with weapons and shit like that. They couldn't do weapons
true.
training and shit like that.
I
But your
believe that is
private
true.
fucking defense forces can? They got more rights than us? How?
You guys should be really offended by the
How?
information you're hearing here. And again, please do your own research. Do your own questions. Ask your own questions. Get those answers to those questions.
Yes, I think the documents, the federal documents and the legal documents should be updated now that the security forces are so large
So
and
prevalent.
actually do pose a threat.
They really
Maybe that
do.
threat should be assessed in legal terms. Should we amend the documents to include private defense forces limitations too?
Absolutely. They really should be. And
Even documents
Wow.
like the Posse Comitatus Act restricts the use of federal personnel in domestic law enforcement activities. So you can't bring in your army or National Guard, I guess, for just regular domestic law enforcement activities, typical law enforcement. The involvement of private contractors, though, prompts an analysis of whether their actions constitute a circumvention of that Comitatus Act.
well, I love what Lenny has to say. He says we are the militia. Excuse me. And
Right.
you
We are the
correct.
militia,
Yeah.
and the government, haven't they forbidden that we do any type of organized training of arms or military style maneuvers?
Right. I believe that
Even
was a few
in
years
private?
ago. several years ago.
even
Yeah.
in private, right?
Even in private, you can.
So I don't get it. We should be able to do this stuff in public, but we're not allowed to do it in public. You go to do it on private property, they're like, nah, you can't do it on private property either.
Yeah, but if you're a business,
Oh, but if you're a private security contractor, now you can employ unlimited number of people, give them all guns and training, and you can have open maneuvers wherever you want.
private, public
Why
land,
should the
wherever.
private sector have less restrictions than the public sector?
No, you got that flip flop.
They
Right?
have less restrictions than
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
public
okay,
military
yeah. The public military,
and the police.
yeah.
Okay. Here's the other thing, right? Regulatory framework. What's the regulatory framework on this? At least for the federal and state regulations do govern private defense contractors, but it varies a lot and leading to potential inconsistencies in oversight. You know, we need to assess the adequacy of these existing laws. It's crucial to determine if they're effective to regulate contractors of these types.
Right.
It's to ensure compliance with national security objectives.
Right.
We need to maintain our national security.
That is so important. And when you can be from another country and purchase property, businesses, whatever here.
We can turn the camera off for now. So
Yeah, we're going to turn the camera. Yeah, but stick tuned because we're still covering this.
Yeah, we're gonna say hi.
Yeah, we're going to say hi to these deputies. As long as they hurry up, man.
It's cold.
It's a little
We
chilly.
can go in the sun.
Oh, well, in the sun might be a little easier to handle. For sure.
Mechanisms such as contractual obligations, government oversight agencies, and legal avenues are in place to hold private defense contractors accountable, though. Evaluating the effectiveness of those mechanisms is essential to ensure that these contractors do adhere to the legal and ethical standards set for them, right?
We got a hard body over here.
Hard body.
Yeah,
Oh, the camera's off, ain't it?
yeah. It just looks like somebody from the military.
You should just describe them like that.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Maybe they would like a description. No.
Oh, he's got a white baseball cap on, blue shirt, gray pants, dark gray, it looks like. He's a little buff. It looks like he's hit the gym at least 3 times a week, maybe that 4th time for a while. Yeah, he's buff, not overly buff though. He's toned very nicely. Just saying. You all know that hard body type, you know.
Hey man, do me a favor.
Yeah.
You see this camera right here?
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know how to take a photo with this back button right here, right?
I sure do.
And take a photo with me. Oh, you ain't got no bumper on this?
No.
Hit it.
There you go. Uh-huh.
You want one?
No. I'm good.
Oh, this dude got a bumper on his, so I wanted to stand on the bumper like I seen Hi, pretty dog.
We got some new friends coming over to say hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, 12.
That's buck 12 and dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, to continue the conversation,
Yeah.
let me get my notes out.
Hey, we've got Kilted Cop Watch in the
What's
house.
up, Tilted Cop Watch? Thanks for being here, man.
Fabulous seeing you aboard. Lady Justice, Liberty Press. Hey, hey, hey.
What is the legal status of contractors like these private defense contractors? They occupy a unique legal position, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
It's distinct from traditional military personnel and civilians.
That's right.
Clarifying their status is vital to determine the legal protections they are afforded, that they afford us, and the obligations they must fulfill under U.S. law. I mean, like legally speaking, how safe are you with a security guard? Is he meant to protect you? Do he got to do something to help you? Is it
Well,
observe and
and
report? Can
again,
he kill someone? What is
well,
it, man?
security guards, let's backtrack to remind everybody. Security guards, yes, they are to observe and report. However, the topic at hand today is not just your average run-of-the-mill security guard. We're talking about contractual
Private defense.
private defense
Private defense contractor.
contractors
Yeah.
that are hiring what feels like, what tastes like mercenary work of sorts for private usage on American soil, on American land. Wow.
Have the camera up? Got it.
Thank you. Mr. Amazing doing some amazing backstage.
Oh yeah, you know, I help out. We getting thumbnail stills and everything.
Yeah, he's busy doing this, and that, and the other. And
The standards governing use of force by defense contractors, private defense contractors domestically, differs from those applied to public law enforcement and military personnel. It's time that we analyze these standards. It's necessary to ensure consistency and legality in the application of force with these agencies, these private defense contractors. Don't you guys think?
Well, it's almost like the people are now taking backstage to business, you know? It's like our capitalism has grown so huge in over here in America that
You could hire an army and it would be legal.
you can actually literally, most literally, hire an army,
And arm them.
arm
And
them
arm
up,
them.
and arm them
And let
because
them patrol the streets too.
exactly.
And they could assemble.
Mm-hmm.
They could do all of, and they could do maneuvers that,
And
that
they
we
don't-
can't do.
They don't, hold on, they don't have to answer to any particular people other than their boss, whatever business that might be, whatever commercial business that might be. And they are running as a commercial business.
Hey, that sounds a
These
little like
mercenaries.
fascism to me, man. I'm just
That is very fascist, I think.
you could literally just hire an army and shit. I mean, how much more fascist could you be?
That is, you guys should be really screaming at the top of your lungs right now. My
About
humble,
freedoms? They should be screaming about freedoms.
they should be screaming about
What if
freedoms.
they had gotten taken away? Imagine that world.
Well, imagine it's the middle of the night. Since we're in the imaginary theme these days.
Well, I think it might be only about 9 p.m. then. It might not be the middle of the night.
Well, imagine it's about 9 p.m. your local time, wherever you might be.
Now let's imagine it right.
Yeah. And some businesses have closed down, some businesses are still open, but only for a little longer, maybe another hour, you know?
Hey, the prime guy parked on the fire hydrant, but we don't care about him, do we?
No.
We don't work in the private sector, do we?
Well, I don't know. Right now, we're kind of looking at the private sector.
Well, you want to talk
You
to
know,
me?
well, we might as-
Vehicles opposed to the community?
And we've got ups over here, you know, the UPS.
Out in the roadway.
Yeah, big time.
Amazon's parked on the fire hydrants. What if
Yeah.
there was a fire in one of these restaurants right here?
I guess Prime would just get the hose ran through it, literally. Just saying.
The crap ain't bad or nothing, though.
No.
Is it illegal? I don't even know. Seems like it would be inappropriate.
Well, exactly.
But look at the UPS guy. He's literally out in the road. He didn't even pull over to the curb. It's kind of stuck.
Delivery guy delivering lunch. No.
Great park job, man.
Wow. All I know is if I was to go park like that,
And we're documenting you.
yeah, and now we got, yeah, we got some delivery dude just trying to make a living though, parked right behind Ups over here, the UPS guy, literally turned off his car and
I'm not going to give him a hard time. You can tell he's had difficulties getting too close to things in the past.
yeah,
So
stay away from that
I
guy.
don't want to get too close to the curb.
But yeah, we do have Commerce out here, which is Ups. That's 635057. That is Ups truck 635057. Mm-hmm. And we also have an Amazon Prime, which looks to like it's number 5 on the vehicle, or number 611492. That's number 611492. Parked right on the fire hydrant. Just saying. It's been publicly documented.
Hold on, these cars are causing hazard to the public.
They are causing hazards to the public with these 3 vehicles parked the way they have chosen to park. 5 cars.
Traffic, they had to go over the orange line.
They had to go over the orange line. This could cause a real issue. Possible property damage, possible people damage, even. I'm just saying. Now we have to hang loose. Yeah, hang tight, hang loose. We're hanging. And I've got the camera open too now. But I've documented these vehicle numbers that we could document.
What do you mean about the camera?
The
Oh, the camera's on, yeah.
yeah, I opened it.
Flip that lens open, let us see what's happening. Legal disputes involving private defense contractors can present jurisdictional complexities, particularly concerning which courts have authority over such cases. Examining existing precedents can provide clarity on how these challenges are addressed. Maybe we need to go into Google Scholar to figure out a little bit of that ins and outs there.
Yep.
Contractual obligations. Contracts between the government and private defense firms outline specific obligations and expectations. What are they? What are those obligations and expectations? What are the typical ones, I wonder? Can anybody pull up and put something in the comments? What does a contract like this look like?
Exactly.
Summarize it for us, would you?
And if something was to happen, something catastrophic with any of these agencies and the people.
What courts have jurisdiction, do you think?
Yeah.
The county at the state level or the federal
Yeah.
on the district level?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I am interested in what you might think. Absolutely. Maybe we will learn together in here.
Monopoly on violence. The state's exclusive right to use force is a fundamental principle of sovereignty. The involvement of private entities in defense roles challenges that monopoly, raising questions about the appropriate boundaries between state and private providers.
Wow. Well, I've got Lenny in here saying that between 1 and 3 a.m.
Oh, here they are.
is the likelihood of being
Let's go,
attacked.
guys. Yeah, we just wanted to ask you a couple questions. Super, super. Thanks for talking with us. Lady Jane?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to get your card if I could.
Just for a second, bro.
Yeah.
Bridge building.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
I promise not to bite you too
Yeah.
hard.
Oh,
I might nibble you, but I won't bite you.
What did you want to ask him?
Well, yeah, I was just kind of curious what y'all were doing here today, if you don't mind me asking. Oh, an eviction? Oh, okay. Is that something y'all normally take care of on a regular basis?
City and County of Denver, that's what the sheriff's department does.
Thank you so much.
I like how you both
I
found
love
lots
how
of
you-
parking spots and stuff. Man.
Yes.
A lot of people who have emergency vehicles, they kind of take advantage of the fact that they can park wherever they want. And
I
as you see,
appreciate
Mr. UPS here did.
Yes.
Park lawfully
And we've got, yeah.
Super.
Well, you guys
Either one
are
of you
out there.
be willing to shake my hand, man, before we.
Oh, building bridges. I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much. These
Can-
cards,
can I-
that handshake, all of this means so much. We're live, the whole world's seen that. And it's rebuilding some of what was lost off.
Yeah,
I think I had a part in that, so I want to have a part in building it back.
that's right.
All right. Thanks for chatting with us, man.
Absolutely.
If you see us out there, we're not bad guys with cameras.
Yeah.
All right. We love you.
Take care.
You
You
too.
too.
Wow, that was great,
That
guys.
was pretty great.
Amazing.
And just real quick, I'm going to let you guys see the office, the names. And I'm going to get these guys entered into
I didn't get their
That-
photos. I don't think.
the police. Yes, well, I did.
Okay, good.
Into the police.
Plus, my camera takes a still whenever you smile. So they were
Yeah.
pretty smiley.
Well,
about
we're
it,
gonna
when I thought I got one.
We're going to turn them into the policerecord.com. And while I've got you out
Thank you for
here,
all your efforts,
I
man.
want to thank No Name Coder for all the diligent hard work he has done in building this wonderful application for all of us to use. And if you go over to the policerecord.com/invite/LJLP, and if you have $5, you will get 5 searches per day.
Yeah, $5 gets you 5 facial recognition searches of police officers every day. You can find out if they're in our database.
Yeah,
Hey, maybe you're a
And-
police officer and you want to see if some of your guys are in the database.
that's
You
right.
could use our invite link, and then you get 5 searches a day. You could run all your buddies through there.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's what is that? It's like 150 or something a month, ain't it?
it's a lot. It really is. And you're doing huge things if you use all 5 searches per day. So I think that's a real assistance out there that No Name Coder is established. And again, that access code, if you will, to access that is the policerecord.com/invite/LJLP. Hope to see you there.
Oh, that's right. I just wanted to mention that with that invite code, you get access to a promotional level of access. It's not full access. So you do get the 5 searches a day, and it gives you a cheap way to see if you would, a cheaper way to see if you would like to try out the police record full access version
Full access.
before you try it. So
Yeah.
that's it's usually $30 for full access, and they're adding more features daily. He just called me last night, and he's got more features being plugged up, man, right away.
Yeah.
So pretty soon, this thing is going to be able to grab all of the cop watch videos. They'll take the faces of all the officers off of that and put them into the database.
That's
And
right.
we won't have their
And
names
they're
maybe at
also-
first, but it'll be coming right along.
Right. And you can also upload those people's units as well.
The cruiser numbers.
The
You can
cruiser
upload the cruiser numbers too.
Yep, you sure can. So
You know,
anyway,
UPS.
and here's UPS. Kind of out there in the street. Yeah.
Great hard job, man.
Looks like he grabbed some lunch too while he was at it.
And those officers were nice though, huh?
Yes, they were. The deputies, they
But they
were
were happy as
lovely.
hell after serving that eviction, weren't they?
Too happy.
I
would
feel
think,
like they gave them a couple
especially-
of spiffs in there or something.
Well, especially now that it's getting cold and wintry and ugly, and you're throwing somebody out on the street. What a lovely job.
You said it. You're right.
What a
That's
lovely
true.
job. I would
What a
be so
lovely job.
happy. I would be kind of
Uh,
depressed. I'd be like, man, where's the chocolate cake at?
Want to kill the camera?
Yeah, let's kill the camera. You
Talk
guys,
about it some more. I got a whole bunch more notes here, man. We haven't even gotten into the
Stay
philosophical aspects. We only talked about a couple of the legal points.
that's
So,
right.
Let's talk about it, guys.
Mhm.
If we erode away our sovereignty, what's to happen? Outsourcing defense functions to private entities may dilute state sovereignty and alter traditional social contract between the government and its citizens. Investigating potential erosion is crucial to understanding long-term implications for governance.
Oh,
What do you guys think about that comment?
he said a mouthful.
Yeah. What if we lose our sovereignty to
Guys,
these forces?
how concerned are
What
you?
if our forces get so distracted that they can't function domestically very good? And what if it even What if the government even reached out to these private security contractors to do some of that National Guard work?
And if
Can they
just-
do that?
If just one company has almost 500,000,
Wait, so is the United States government allowed to hire mercenaries to act as National Guard?
I don't think so.
I think they can. It sounds legal. Somebody
Well,
look that up for us,
after
man.
hearing all this, I can't see why it wouldn't be legal. But
They could
I
hire
wouldn't-
overseas mercenaries to come back here and patrol us as private defense contractors. They wouldn't even be held to the same restrictions as law enforcement or military.
Yeah. What do you
And they
guys
would
think
even
about
have
that one?
Doesn't sound like they'd even have to suspend the Constitution or declare a state of national emergency.
I don't know, Mr. Amazing. You're stirring the pot
These
here.
are some really good ideas. If you're one of the invading powers that want to get us, man, I'm just saying, try it out, man. If you use a few of these ideas, you can get a couple million troops over here.
Don't. Please don't. I'm serious,
It's a
don't.
thought. It's a thought.
No.
Maybe you need a straw person to own the corporation or something, man. Hit me up. Hit me up. I'm just kidding. I can't
Do
be bought.
not comply. Do not comply. That's right, Lenny. Do not comply. I
We
don't-
complied on the night. Remember, we watched the body camera footage. Boy, did we comply. We were like, I don't consent. And they were like, if you don't give us your ID, you're going to jail. And I was like, I'll take the ticket, please.
Yeah. And honestly, is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah,
You got,
I complied. I fucking folded.
well, but I think we all stand on what we stand on. You see what I'm saying?
Jamie's a paper sack. Somebody stand him up. He's got no spine.
And a wet paper sack at that.
Don't let it rain.
Don't let it rain.
Don't let it rain. You'll find out.
Oh gosh. But what
I'm just kidding, man. I did have my spine broken once, though, and you're a different person after that happens.
you know what? I left my
No, it's right here, man.
oh, right here it is. I was gonna say, oh shoot,
We got you. We got you.
I left my
Standing by, looking for some cops. Cop watch, cop watch.
we're actually talking about a very good subject. So
Cop watch, cop watch.
stay on subject.
I'm a little bit. I need to get some chronic, man. Somebody send me some dabs money or chronic money. I'm out, yo. Like, we had to go to trial. I gotta go to trial on Thursday. I ain't gonna have no dabs. Was that the subject? Hold on. Oh, private defense contractors. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The Cash App is $ amazing audits, by the way. That's amazing audits with a $ in front of it. No spaces. One word on Cash App.
On Cash App.
Privatizing defense services, introducing ethical considerations like this, introducing potential conflicts of interest and moral dilemmas. We should assess these implications. It's necessary to ensure that privatization aligns with ethical standards and societal values. That reminds me of like how privateering became a thing and actually got rid of pirating, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like high seas pirating.
Yeah.
They deputized or whatever these freaking pirate captains, and they made them privateers, and they made it legal to commandeer vessels and shit, as long as it was in the name of the crown, right?
Right.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me. What if they did something similar here? Oh, that's what they've done with the police force, huh? Did you guys know that civil asset forfeiture, when law enforcement agencies take your private property for no good reason and you can't get it back, they have stolen more assets from the United States people than all of the thieves combined.
Yeah.
Guys, somebody find a link for that. Let's put it in the chat, please.
I was
Lenny?
amazed
Help us out.
when I seen that.
Yeah, man. They've stolen more assets from the United States public than the thieves of America have.
I mean,
Guys, for 2 of the last 5 years, or it was 3, huh?
Yeah.
One of the years, they stole almost double the assets than all the thieves of the United States stole. Isn't that crazy? Do you understand what I'm saying, y'all? The police seized more assets than
thieves 3 years of the last 5 years, and one of the years they almost took twice
So
as
I
much.
guess what the question is who is being served? Whom is being served? And where's all that money going to? If they're, of course, it's going to their police balls.
That's how
I'm
they buy
sure.
those tanks and shit,
Yeah.
those APVs, and
Wow. And why does any police force need tanks of any type or those big military type uh, equipment vessels? Why? Unless they're planning on
hire mercenaries to help
going to war with the people.
the duties of the National
Very
Guard.
scary. Very scary.
Stretch too thin.
But yes, we're bringing up some very fine questions,
Let's get back
and
to it.
I think you should really be concerned out there with the findings that we have found out here. And it's just again because of asking questions, going out, doing some handshakes, making some rapport with the folks out here, and it all stems back to that conversation I had with that what I thought was a security guard, an armed security guard nonetheless, but a security guard, and me asking how she could have a gun if all security guards are supposed to do is observe and report.
I think that's just what we're told. That's what it's looking like. Guards are literally allowed to do military style shit to you, and they know it. That's why we've seen such weird stuff happening with security, and we're told that they can't. They can't do that. Oh, hey, what about Blackwater, Lenny? Do you remember Blackwater? Wasn't that like a big thing with mercenaries operating
Yeah.
to help out the military overseas?
Yes.
So it's really not that stretchy of an idea to
No.
think that they would have used private military mercenary contractors to help the National Guard in the event that the National Guard gets stretched too thin. Is it? And should we be worried about it, or am I just paranoid?
Well, I think at very least there is some concern here.
The government, the United States government, particularly faces significant legal and ethical constraints when considering like using mercenaries to supplement the National Guard. Well, that's good. Anti-Pinkerton Act of 1893. And we all know that they rule on things one day, 50 years later, man, they overturn it. So, we feel safeguarded by the Anti-Pinkerton Act of 1893, but then all they got is somebody takes this to court and the Supreme Court rules that, oh, the Anti-Pinkerton Act was illegal.
Yes.
And then it gets overturned, right?
Right.
Anyways, let's talk about it. This act prohibits the federal government from employing individuals from organizations that offer quasi-military services, such as mercenaries. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit interpreted this act as forbidding the government from hiring companies providing mercenary quasi-military forces for hire. Posse Comitatus Act. This act restricted the use of federal military personnel in domestic law enforcement roles. International law. The United States is not a signatory to the 1989 United Nations Mercenary Convention. So imagine that. We like to keep that option open, I guess, even though they don't throw us out of the United Nations for not signing it. That would ban the use of mercenaries under the United States employ. However, hiring mercenaries could still raise international legal concerns that would affect diplomatic relations. Too, there's the accountability and oversight part.
Exactly. That's
$66.8 billion they took in civil asset forfeitures, you guys, stolen
the
from the
cap.
United States people, from you and I. Just somebody passing by. Maybe you had a nice car. Maybe you had something that attracted the officer's eye. Maybe he's seen you in public and he didn't like the way that you could flaunt more than him, and he could seize your assets, man. Anything from you that they determine was related to drug use, and they don't have to prove it, and you can't. It'd be difficult to find. It costs at least $100,000 in legal fees to
Excuse
fight
me.
for your shit back.
Excuse me. It doesn't even have to be related to drug use. All they got to do is take your stuff whenever they arrest you and say, we're keeping this, we're going to hold this for evidence. And the case never does come up for whatever reasons. It never actually transpires, but they won't release the evidence that they have collected, even though they know that what they're collecting doesn't belong to the individual that they found it on. It belongs to you. That actually happened in Nampa, Idaho, folks. There was a camera with the battery for the camera and the card inside the camera that was taken into hostage by the Nampa PD for evidence. That was approximately 3.5, almost 4 years ago.
They never gave that shit back, huh?
I still haven't gotten it back, even though I've requested it back more than once. No, they told me I would have to ask the officer that took it. Why would I have to ask the officer that took it?
Because he didn't submit it. He's got it. That guy has your shit. You should sue him. You should sue that officer. Might be past the statute of limitations.
I think it is. I think it's only 2
But
years.
I don't know
for
if it
that.
applies on civil cases. But I don't know if the statute of limitations applies on civil cases
Yeah.
like that. It makes sense that it would, though. You
Yeah.
can't come back to me 40 years later trying to sue me for some shit, man, that you didn't want to sue me within 7 years of fucking the thing
Well,
having happened to you.
Like I said, it's about 3.5, 4 years ago when all that.
Well, then I think there's like a 7-year limit, man. That's like the common law thing. You know that?
Huh.
You should look into it. I'd sue his ass for the phone back.
Yeah.
And then,
That was
here's another thing, right? The idea of someone having your property, even a government, anyone at all, having your property, is fine, right? That just means that it was a commerce. It was an act of commerce. That means they've been renting your property from you the entire time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the only way that this is lawful, is through a contract, through a commercial commerce. Do you understand?
mhm.
Yeah, everything's commerce, and that's what this is. What you're talking about is commerce. This dude owes you rental fees for the phone, then in that case.
Well, it was an actual camcorder.
Yep.
And
He rented that from you.
yeah.
And you should be okay with that because,
Yeah.
woohoo, man,
It cost 3.5
rental
years.
fees for 3.5 years on the camera.
Wow. I think I'd be able to buy about 26,000 of those cameras by now.
You know, I think he lost his ticket stub too, man. There's going to be an added fee if you don't bring the ticket.
Well, I think, honestly, I think
I'm just kidding.
I think I lost my ticket stub.
You know, shit.
Just because I didn't realize, that there was a 7-year thing. I thought it was a 2-year thing, and it's been a while.
The United Nations wants to be the only one to hire mercenaries. 90% of the money in the United States has been used to snort at least one line of something, and they all got to say it's drug money by testing your money. That makes sense, actually.
Well,
The money all has drugs on it.
yeah,
And it was probably the politicians that snorted those lines.
probably
And-
whether if you're guilty of actually committing that crime or not.
And then
not
they
that
could
it's
take
really
your
crime.
money from you because it all has drug residue on it. 90% of the money has drug residue. That's what Lenny's trying to say.
Well, that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Don't keep cash on you then.
90% of money has feces on it too.
Yeah,
So
I do believe that. Ugh. Don't put your hands in your mouth after you've touched money. That's for sure. Don't know where it's been.
The use of these mercenaries in domestic operations erodes my public trust. Government institutions trust in even the government too, right? Like we've got T4S costs almost 500,000 guards and shit. Like, I almost back them now. Like, they're more reputable than my government because they got more force. You
Well,
see what I'm saying? Maybe I align with them now instead of the government.
I've got an issue with this because if something was to go down, I don't care how many people you got. If something goes down, you should be wanting to be transparent about what happened, and you should want to be held accountable for whatever happened. And if you've got these private mercenaries going around and something goes down, somebody gets hurt, somebody gets, unlived.
So that reminds me about the Pinkerton Act, right? I don't know all the details, so do your own research, man. I'm gonna tell you what I kind of remember about it, which isn't very vivid. So check out the details for yourself, guys. If you want to help us in the chat, that'd be cool. But if I recall correctly, there was like a uprising somewhere in one of the American cities or colonies or something like that, and they hired the Pinkertons to come in and quell that rebellion.
Yeah.
And the Pinkertons came in and they used they used those machine guns, man, where the barrel rotates and shit like that.
Yeah.
The howitzers, they used these howitzer cannons and shit, man, to freaking mow down everyone in that city. Like, they killed everybody, bro. Like, they killed everybody, I think is how that went. I could be wrong, but let's get the facts. Somebody give me the facts, man. That's my recollection of it. And that's why that shit was such a huge atrocity. Like, the next day or something, they had this bill in Congress getting passed. Like, it was horrible, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond horrible.
Yeah.
And that's why that act exists.
Yeah, look, it looks like it'd be too easy for something like that to happen again. Especially with.
Can these private defense contractors, they could buy any kind of military weapon they want?
Yeah.
What? Like military restricted weaponry?
Well, if the cops, if police can buy it.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, shit, even the cops can buy. I don't know how that works. I'm actually not that up on that. Can the cops buy any type of? They could buy like a fighter jet. They could buy any type of thing they want, militarily speaking.
If they've got the budget,
they can.
Why not?
Well, because I thought the idea was for them to just have like slightly bigger guns than the criminals.
That's how it should be.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
That way they're never outgunned.
But I'm going to tell you,
like on the North Hollywood Boulevard.
I've been around all across the nation through my travels, and I have seen townships that have more military stuck in their police stations than the average National Guard campus does, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's really scary.
It is scary. States can request help from other states' National Guards. Obviously, we've seen that happen in recent days, even with the catastrophes that have happened recently. Active duty military personnel can be deployed domestically, actually, under specific circumstances, adhering to legal frameworks and maintaining clear command structures. While the U.S. government has mechanisms to address National Guard shortages, hiring mercenaries is not a legal, viable, and advisable option due to existing laws and the potential ethical and operational challenges involved. So let's remember that Roe v. Wade, right? You think these things are laws, you think this is a right afforded to you, and then they just come along anytime. And they'll take any one of those things back. They'll take the due process. They'll take any of those things. They'll take the Second Amendment. They'll take the First Amendment, guys. They don't fucking care. They'll take any of this shit. They took your fucking autonomy to your body and shit, dude, right? Fucking A. What's next, yo? Just remember that none of these rights are so affirmed that if we don't protect them, they'll be guaranteed forever.
That's right. And that's why you should go and exercise your rights on a frequent basis. Keep yourself in tune if you will.
You know, the
Keep your
biggest thing that
government
you
in
could do,
tune.
the biggest thing you could do to work against these concerns that we've talked about is be self-sufficient. That's the
Yes.
biggest act of rebellion
That's right.
that people and partake in truth
Your
and
local
honesty.
government.
Those are the biggest acts of rebellion that could do you the best good.
Yeah, well, also participate in your local government, in your townships, city halls, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Become familiarized with your community and the goings on, the happenings that's going on in your community, you know. Become a part of the solution.
So Lenny was saying, yeah, become a part of the solution, guys. Lenny was saying, you need to contact that police officer because he's the one that stole your phone. He's stolen your phone, taking it home, essentially, it sounds like. And that is theft. But we're not going to call it theft because that would be hard for us to get justice on that.
Right.
What would be much simpler is identifying that this person has taken your property, giving him an invoice. You know, Melinda, this is how you get your property. I'm telling you. You send an invoice to the police department that they've been renting your phone now this entire time. They failed to respond to any of your, and you're not even like you're going to sue them. This is the invoice. Next is going to be the intent to sue. You turn over, and your phone will be. They'll turn your phone over to you. They'll find that goddamn phone. They will.
Yeah,
It'll turn up.
it's a phone, the battery that goes, or it's not the phone, it's a camera,
Yeah.
camcorder, the battery with
find that
the
stuff.
camcorder, and the 32 gigabyte chip that was in it.
Like, I know I was talking about crimes, but I wasn't talking about crimes, though, man. I was talking about statute of limitations on civil matters. You know what I'm saying? Not murder, Lenny. And then, like, I think he was in agreement that what I was saying is that they've essentially been renting your stuff this whole time. That'd be a good way for you to get it back.
Well, I think I just might send them a statement here, a bill.
See, look, Lenny even says the Pinkerton Act is unconstitutional on its face. See, that could be turned over. I mean, according to Lenny here, I'm not saying that he's not credible. I'm not saying you guys should believe what he's saying. Everybody do your own research.
Right.
I need to do my own research, but Lenny is saying on its face, it appears to be unconstitutional. Passes the Pinkerton Act to go after people like Billy the Kid, Josie Wales, and others. So they can hire those guys that like mercenaries to get the how do we characterize this properly? My bad. To go get the people that are doing well out there and do worse than kidnap them.
And do worse than kidnap
Right.
them. Yeah, that's what it kind of sounded like to me too. Yeah.
The police stations have two sides to them, one for policing and one for the United Nations. Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
What's that all about? So they're not even working for us then. I mean, that'll tell you right there.
Nope, they're not.
Why they got a United Nations station up in that end in that case. I never heard that before. Well, we can talk a few more talking points about this. Thank you for chatting with us, Lenny.
It's been an awesome conversation.
Yeah. So what if the people began to lose trust in the government and its effectiveness or its monopoly on force, and they started to align with private security force of violence, force and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
We don't like the police gunning people down, but you don't never be hearing about how a security guard did it.
Nope. We got this security guard that brought up this whole conversation because he drove by, and he's driving by yet again. Yeah.
We can keep talking, but we gotta get to walking. Is everything in this vehicle?
Oh yeah. Well, let's go ahead and roll. I gotta roll up the windows.
So we're gonna go park somewhere else?
I'm kind of wondering. I think there's enough people right now.
All right, cool.
But yeah.
So we'll talk about it some more, but we're gonna get to walking, man. I gotta go panhandle. I ain't got no fun, guys. You gotta
You gotta use the bathroom. I gotta use the
Let's
bathroom.
end the live stream.
Yeah, we're gonna
Talk
go.
about it more later, guys.
Yeah, we will just open this discussion again later, and that's a promise. Until then, you guys, thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. I love you.